All right, here we go. So, not an easy task, but we can do it. All right, so the first two yellow problems, it's all about implicit differentiation. So, let's grab those two and let's go to work. Okay, so if you notice in each of these, right, well, the task was to find y prime, but as you look at these, pretty difficult to explicitly solve either of them for y. That's why it's implicit differentiation. Okay, you're going to find y prime without first isolating y. So let's do the first one. Okay, so I'm going to break this up to a bunch of different steps. Okay, just so I think it'll help you keep track of them a little better. So I'm ready to differentiate both sides. Okay, so I got to do, well, I have three terms. I got to do the derivative of that term, the derivative of that term, and the derivative of that term right here. Okay, so let's do the blue one first. So I'm going to go x squared times d dx of sine x plus d dx of x squared times sine x. Okay, that's just a product rule. Plus, okay, I need d dx of 2y. Right, so this, all I'm doing here is just showing you, I'm going to take the derivative of both sides, and the product rule has shown up because of that piece I underlined in blue. You're going to get more product rule from the right-hand side, that thing underlined in pink. So you'll go y squared times d dx cosine y plus d dx of y squared times cosine y. Okay, so I mean that's a good first step. You're not a 4 yet on the target, but at least at this point you've shown me that, hey, I know I've got some product rule things going on. Now, to finish this problem, you're really gonna have to okay, change that piece. Well, it's just kind of cool. You already know that one. Okay, so I was saying that one in blue, that's kind of nice, right? The derivative of sine x with respect to x is just cosine x. So that's x squared cosine x plus, let's see, this piece, okay, that's 2x plus, now this piece, this next one's kind of interesting. You could rewrite this if you want and actually write it as 2 times d dx of y. Right, I just pulled that 2 out front. And that equals, let's see, y squared times, let's see, derivative of cosine y with respect to x. So cosine y, that's the outer function. Derivative of cosine is negative sine. Okay, and then I go to the inner function of y, its derivative, that's y prime. Right, so I'm actually going to write this as, so d dx of y, right? That's y prime. And yeah, okay, so I could have written that as y prime. We can go back and clean that up later. Plus, okay, the derivative of y squared with respect to x. So that's two functions. The squared function, so that's 2, so the input is y. And then you got the derivative of the inner function. So d dx, the inner function was y, so the derivative of y there. Okay, and that was all multiplied by cosine y. Okay, so I got a couple derivatives left, nothing too significant though. I'm going to recopy again. So I got x squared cosine x plus 2x sine x plus that thing, that's just y prime. So 2y prime equals, let's see, that thing there, that's y prime. So y squared, I'll put the negative out front, negative y squared sine y, y prime plus, let's see, that's just y prime. So 2y, y prime cosine y. So as I look at this, I see how many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. The number of terms with y prime, there's 1, there's 2, 3 of them. So those 3 terms need to get on the same side of the equal sign. So I think it's going to be easiest if I just bump this one over here. So I'll subtract 2y prime from both sides. So I'll get this equals negative 2y prime minus y squared sine y, y prime plus 2y, y prime cosine of y. Alright, now each of these terms on the right has y prime. So I think you're gonna factor them out. Okay, so if you divided each of the terms by y prime and you factored it out, so this and this one. So y prime gets factored out. What's left? Okay, you got a negative 2 left here minus y squared sine of y plus 2y cosine y. And that's equal to x squared cosine x plus 2x sine x. Okay, the last part, you're trying to isolate y prime. So I divide off what's being multiplied by y prime. I just divide it on both sides. So I'll have this piece. I'll have x squared cosine x plus 2x sine x, all divided by this stuff here. So that was a minus 2 minus y squared sine of y plus 2y cosine y. Okay, I think we got it. I'm going to check my answer real quick. I did this one earlier in class. X squared cosine x plus 2x sine x divided by negative 2 minus y squared sine y plus 2y cosine y. Alright, we got it. Unless I did it wrong twice. There's y prime. Okay, that's 1A. So that's your first problem with implicit differentiation. So the second one, I'm going to start that second one. So if you look at that second problem, you'll notice, the instruction said, hey, find dy dx, find y prime. And as I look at this, it's not easy to isolate y. So I'm going to implicitly differentiate this. I'm going to take the derivative with respect to x on both sides before y is actually isolated. So let's see, this guy here, that looks like a product rule to me. So this is 6x cubed times the derivative of y with respect to x plus, let's see, I'll shorten this one up a little, 18x squared times y minus, this one might be nice for you to see, d dx of pi times y. Right, pi is just a number, so you can actually write this as pi times d dx of y. And you guys know that to be y prime, so that's really pi y prime. Okay, going back, so minus, let's see, the derivative of sine is cosine, so minus cosine xy times d dx, the derivative of the inner xy. And that equals, let's see, the derivative of 4 with respect to x is 0. So we've still got some work to do. You know, some of the ones that, so like, that's just y prime there in green. That's not so bad. Really, that green one, that's left. And we still got to do that. That's fine, though. So that's just the derivative of x times y. So that's a product rule. So you got x, y prime plus 1 times y. So we can recopy this. So we got a 6x cubed y prime plus 18x squared y minus pi y prime minus cosine xy times xy prime plus y. And that equals 0. So make life a little bit easier. And let's see, I'm going to distribute this piece to this yellow one and this blue one. Just the distributive property. So that would be a minus cosine xy times xy prime plus a minus cosine xy times y. Okay, getting closer to the end. Now it's kind of time to say, how many terms do I have? Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms. How many have y prime in them? 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. So I'm going to keep those 3 on the left, and the ones that don't have y prime, I'm going to move them over. So, and that one's going over too. So let's see, the ones with y prime. You got your 6x cubed y prime minus pi y prime minus cosine quantity xy prime, and that equals, let's see, that's positive, so when I move it over, it'll be a negative. So negative 18 x squared y. And this one is negative, so when I move it over, it's going to become positive. So plus cosine xy times y. Almost there. Okay, so then on the left, everything's got a y prime in it. Each term does. So I'm going to factor the y prime out. And you got your 6x cubed minus pi minus cosine xy times x equals negative 18 x squared y plus cosine xy times y. Divide both sides by that quantity. Y prime equals this stuff divided by 6x cubed minus pi minus x cosine xy. And that, my friends, is the answer. Alright, we're making progress. Okay, now the next set of problems right here. Once again, we're trying to find y prime and this is all about combining rules. Okay. Alright, we got time. Maybe we'll only get through one of these. So let's do the first one. So, okay, derivative of the outermost. That's going to give me my pi times that stuff to the pi minus 1. Pi is just a number. So 6x sine 3x squared plus 5. So there's the derivative of the outer, evaluated at the inner, multiplied by the derivative of the inner. So I'm just, using this notation. I'm not quite ready to find that derivative yet. That's just too much for my brain to handle all at once. So now my brain goes right to here. Oh, I need to work on that. Okay, so as I look at this, I got that 6x and then that sign of stuff. So that's definitely a product rule. So that's like a 6x times d dx of sine 3x squared plus 5 plus, let's see, I go d dx of 6x, just 6, times sine 3x squared plus 5. Okay, and that's multiplied by that stuff there. Okay, so we're not done. You see that I've got the ddx in blue still, but what I'm trying to kind of show is, hey, if you could find that thing there and that thing, well, the second one is just 6, then you'd be done. So I'm going to leave you with that, let you work on that, and then tomorrow I'll post the rest of the video solution. So thanks a lot.